Welcome to Thank God You're Not My Child. Remember, it's a comedy podcast where I talk about whatever the shit I want to. Yeah, and today you might need to take a few deep breaths and you might need to maybe even take a sip of that tequila or some good stuff because we're talking about the worst Karens on the planet. HOA Karens. Yes. Who's ready for this one? Okay, so HOA. I'm going to let you know real fast. There is no way in my life I could ever live in a house that was in a HOA. I don't know how you guys do it. I'm just saying. I understand keeping your place neat and tidy, but holy shit. And I started looking back at some of these just absolutely bonkers. And, you know, most of them are women. I'm just telling you that women, oof, those HOA Karens, HOA Karens, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they just seem to be so queen of the neighborhood. I'll fuck you up, and not even for a good reason. But I kind of wondered, how long has an HOA been like? When did it start? And so, of course, I went on to Google, and Google told me, are you ready for this? First HOA was started in 1905 in Los Angeles County, Pasadena. And that makes sense. All the shitty stuff always starts in California. No, that's okay. You can just disagree with me, but that's how it is. And I understand that it's for the beautification of your neighborhood. You know, whatever. What the fuck? Good grief. Anyway, so the one thing I was wondering was, what were some of the stupidest rules that has been on some of the HOAs? And I did find some that I just thought, well, what the fuck? There was quite a few HOAs that had pet restrictions, as in your weight of your dog. Okay, so you can't get a Great Dane because it's too big. It's going to weigh too big. I don't think other people should be able to tell you that. And that one's just pretty fucked up all on its own. And, I mean, I'm not even really for the ones, oh, no chickens and, you know, no roosters and stuff. The rooster thing I get, who nobody wants to get woke up by a rooster at 4:30 a.m. because that, you know, that's when it's going to happen. So I get the rules thing, but holy shit. And then another one was you cannot work on home improvements on Saturday and Sundays. No weekends, home improvements. I don't know about you, but we was poor. That was we couldn't take off during the week to pay people to do it, or we couldn't take off the week to do it because you had to work. It's a whole catch. What? So I can't work on my house on a Saturday? I mean, that's some of your best stuff. Yeah, that's fucked. That one's fucked. This one's probably one of the funniest ones. No blue trampoline covers. You know, it had to be green or black if you had a trampoline, but no blue because it sticks out so much. If I'm not mistaken, it's probably in your backyard. Who the fuck cares? Take some deep breaths. One, are you ready for this? No washing your cars at home. Oh, man. I used to do this in daycare, too, when it was hot. We're going to go out. Oh, Blue Margarita is always #1 hits. Just going to say, excuse me on that one there. That's #1 hits. You know what I mean? But we're not going to wash that car in your driveway or at your house because, I mean, who wants that? Who wants people outside and laughing and spraying each other? And I just couldn't imagine walking up to somebody's house. Hello? Excuse me. Your kids and your husband's out here washing the car, and they can't be that happy. So could you please just tell them to stop and go back inside and ignore each other? I mean, hello. Don't wash your cars in your driveway. But to top it off, you have a nice 2-car garage, and you are not allowed to back into your driveway. You cannot back your car into your driveway. You can't park backing up into your driveway. Okay. Maybe you want to like know what kind of toilet paper I'm wiping and with how many wipes I have to do. And holy fuck. So if you are living in an HOA and you're thumbs up, never had anything or not, I'm impressed, because some of these stupid rules are ridiculous. I mean, you know, it'd probably be like around Little House on the Prairie time, you know, around that time, like, oh my gosh, you have 3 windows in your house, and that's just too many. We need to slide down to have just 1 window. We don't want it to look bad for everybody else. Okay, no more than 1 window on the front of your house. And only 1 cow. You can only have 1 cow in front of your house, because I don't care if you have 8 cows, it'll make your neighbor look bad. So you can only have 1 cow, only 1 cow in front of your house. Sounds stupid, doesn't it? So where do you think we came up with this? Like, you can live next to me, but you're going to have your house a certain color. You're going to have the plants a certain color. You're going to have to keep your no more than 4 inches on your grass, and you're going to have to, Christmas lights can't be up past February 1st, and I could go on all day long. But we understand that the reason this podcast that I jibber jabber on is not real long is because who wants to listen to me jibber jabber along? I mean, there's been quite a few of you, but I still kind of like scratch my head, you know, wondering, what's up, people? It's because of things like this. How many people just look at people doing this in these HOAs and, oh my gosh. And there's some funny ones out there. Go on TikTok and look up some of the funny ones. I know there's a few of these that probably best friends that are setting this up, and it's so fun to watch because, you know, it's set up and it's so funny. But I did make one TikTok, and I am really hoping that it really wasn't a serious video, but the lady was maybe a neighbor, looked like really upset at her neighbor, and has broke back some of the fence. And the things that she's saying, she even goes as long to say, I hope your kid dies, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch the whole thing. And it was just like, first of all, when the fuck do we ride? Because if you tell anybody you hope their kid dies, I'm not sure you need to have any life left in you. Just saying. Just saying. Any little mamas want to find out where that lady lives? Maybe we need to know, because I sure hope it was neighbors making up stuff, because nobody should be telling anybody that. But so Charles on Little House on the Prairie, I'm sure he couldn't go bigger and better than the neighbors. So that's where HOA started. Right. Yeah. Cause you can't be better than me, or I can't. Yeah. Really, that's probably why I live so happily well up on a mountain, a little hidden from everybody, and we can pretty much do whatever the fuck we want on our 30 acres. And you know who my HOA is? HOA, Homeowners Association, right? I need to treat that stuff out there that God gave me. I need to treat it well, maintain it. Don't destroy it, if you know what I mean. We live really close in Oklahoma to a Green Acres 4x4 park. I do believe the name of it, and a couple of the runs on that is on our property, and we still don't. You have to take care of what God's given you, whether it's your child or the land he's given you, or even your house. If you've got that nice big old house, do it. Do you. Just because I want to live in a very small house doesn't mean that you have to. Just means I'm happy for you when you get it, So anyway, we're going to end the HOA crap right there, because I'm not sure we need to give too much attention. And it's been over 100 years that this HOA's crap's going. So maybe if we have a fall of the government or something with all this mess going on in Texas and the border and all, if we have a drop in the government, maybe some of this HOA shit can be what's taken out of the park, if you know what I mean. I'll be like, okay, have you guys even watched The Walking Dead to know what's going to happen in the end? It's not going to matter how long your grass is. Okay, it's not going to matter how long your grass is. That definitely did not come out right. So, anyway, fuck those Karens. Worst Karens there are. HOA Karens. Well, okay, so I wanted to talk about one of my stories before my daughter even came along. About the time I got pregnant with her, we were living out. It's called Laird Hill there in East Texas, and we had very minimal. We had two houses beside us. One side had a kid. I do believe her name was Crystal, and played with my son. So that was one, and the other one was an older gentleman, and he was just happy neighbor, never even really had anything wrong. So that is where we started potty training my son that was almost 3, right around there. Because we were outside. We lived in the country. If he wanted to go mark every tree to learn how to potty train, oh well, I didn't have an HOA, if you know what I mean. And so it was very easy, but then it switched in the midst of potty training, and we had ended up in a duplex in town, and the amount of neighbors were saying, oh yeah, he was peeing in my bushes, or he was peeing in my bushies, he was peeing on the tree in the behind. Gosh, getting that kid to understand. I mean, he had just turned 3, and potty training him was not the easiest. He was not the easiest fuck, I'm just saying. The Lord have mercy. My daughter was simple on potty training, but my son, we started with living out in the country, and then all of a sudden living in town. You can't fucking pee everywhere you want in town. You just can't. You're always going to have a Karen, an HOA or something that, oh my God, your kid's peeing outside, because how many kids? I mean, my first episode ever was poop in the playground, and that was poop in the playground. Yep. I remember that deeply. Anyway, yeah, that's episode 1. And remember, the sound's getting better. I'm working on this, doing the sound and learning this all in the midst of recording and keep going has probably been hard for some people to listen to me. But it sure gives me something to do. And not all of it, and the emails and stuff I get, and the DMs and stuff, the stories you guys are sending, it's crazy. And so thanks for listening. Thanks for asking. I'm always looking for ideas on episodes I can do, because remember, it's called Thank God You're Not My Child. But you know what? Let's get real. I'm old as fuck, and most of these young Karens could be my child. So thank God you're not my friend. Thank God you're not my child. Thank God you're not my banker. Thank God you're not my drug dealer. It could be anything. Anything in there. Because we all got drug dealers, right? Oh, okay. So anyway, I've probably rambled on way too long. And the key to this is if you get a HOA, make sure you know if your kid goes out watering urine style everybody's bushes, is it's going against your HOA. Because if it's going against your HOA, what do you fine for each pee? And how do they know how? I mean, do they record him? See, it's fucked up, isn't it? It's fucked up. Okay, so anyway, I think I've already told you much more than I know. So until next time, thank God you're not my child.